Hello, everyone. It's William here with my crooked camera. I just did a phone update today, and I had hoped that it would fix my camera issues, but obviously it has not. So there is the proof. I I had really hoped that it would, but unfortunately, the camera was crooked again. So. Anyway, welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. I see Marianne and Harry are here. Thank you both for being here. We have some of Harry's things to show you today. I think we're going to get to those. We'll see. We have so much to show you. I have a desk full of things. We'll see what I get to today and what I don't. But Harry sent a nice package of some Halloween and some spooky stuff. So I wanted to try and put some of that out today for some of you. We have some new to us. They're vintage glass, gemstones, metal charms, pewter charms. So we have some of that today, as well as Harry's stuff possibly, and some of Andrew's paintings, I believe, are going to make their debut today. So we've got a lot going on, everybody. Sandra's here, says, hello there, I made it today. Yes, thank you for making it. I know you missed yesterday. You missed all of my little dishes. And I want to thank everybody out there who grabbed one of my little dishes. I did not expect to completely sell out. That was kind of wild to me. I expected to sell maybe 2 or 3 of them, not all of them. So thank you so much for that. If you did miss out and there is some that you want, I am making more. I don't want to make so many necessarily that people get tired of them, but I also think because each one's different, I think I can keep making them. I have fun making them. I enjoy making them. So I think I'm going to make a number more. We'll see until maybe I come up with a different idea or a different design. Maybe for them, we'll see, or do something else. But I'm really enjoying making these. So hopefully you'll like the other ones coming. I posted on my William Tries Things page, I posted a preview of a mug that I'm working on in the same kind of style. So I'm super excited about that. It is probably actually out of the kiln sitting on my shelf right now, but I won't be in my class this week because Ava's coming. So I'm not going to miss hanging out with Ava to go to my class this week for sure. So, although I will miss my classmates. So I won't be in my pottery class this week. So I won't be picking up my mug to see or checking it out. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope the kiln gods are nice and it comes out okay. I did it in the style, coloring style of one of the little dishes. I still have the dishes here. Let me see if I can show you which one. Oh, maybe, maybe not. All my dishes are, oh no, I've kind of lost their, I don't know how that happened. They got mixed up a little bit here, so I'm gonna have to go through them all later. Where's the one that, where are you? It's hiding from me. Yes, this one. So the mug is in the coloring style of this one. And now my computer just went dark and it will not. There it goes. For some reason, the color, weird things are happening. But it's in this coloring style of this one. So I'm super excited about that. I hope that it comes out. But because these are generally, put in the kiln flat, nothing runs too much. And so I'm excited to see if the dots, because the dots are on the sides of the mug, I'm excited to see if they run. I kind of am hoping they run a little bit, but we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen. And these definitely are going to need to be resorted. I'm going to have to resort my dishes because all the papers, thought I had them all together. It's a thing when you don't have bags, right? I don't have bags for everything. But yeah, it's been a wild day. I did not expect them all to sell out. I put the last few of them that we had after the live last night on the online store, and they sold out right away. So I'm so thankful to everyone who grabbed one of those. I will be making more. I hope people enjoy them. Let's see here. Sandra says, I was so sad I missed it. Norma is here. Hello, Norma. Sandra says, I'm not surprised they sold out. I will message you. Thank you. Lennis is here. Hello, Lennis. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so Andrew is putting some finishing touches on some paintings right now. And I'm not sure how many of them. I think we're going to get some tonight. He was pretty set on wanting to debut those tonight. So we'll be getting at least some of those tonight. I don't know how many. He's been working, just when you think he's finished, I wake up to another like set of them that has started. So he's really been making a number of these little paintings, and they're in various stages of process. I think he kind of works on them, and then as he gets another idea, he works on another one. And then he goes through, and, you know, depending on what color or what layer they're getting, he starts with some base layers and then builds color and all that. So they're in various stages of progress. And I've been working all day today on things, so I really haven't gotten to check in with him. But I know that we're going to hopefully get some of them today. And like I said, we just got a shipment today of some new things, some pewter, some gemstones, some vintage glass. So we're going to work through those a little bit today, I think. And I have some of Harry's stuff that just came in the mail just today. So we're going to take a look at some of that, I think. And we'll see where the day takes us. How about that? How are all of you out there today? If you sent me an email, you may have just gotten a reply, maybe. I have been so busy, I just checked my email. I actually lost track of time, and I just checked my email like right before the live. I didn't realize what time it was, and I'm like sitting emailing people, and I'm like, oh, I got to get ready for the live. So hopefully I got back to most people via email. If I missed you, I will get back to you at some point after the live or tomorrow. We have a lot of things happening with Ava. Ava's coming in tomorrow afternoon, and we're going to have to quickly get her things up and kind of sorted and get ready for day one of the virtual trunk show with the Ava Motherwell collection. That starts tomorrow. You heard it here. Don't miss it. For sure, don't miss it, because it is going to be pretty amazing. Ava just told me today, she just let us know that she's also bringing vintage buttons, some vintage metal components, and some chain. So there's a lot coming, and some fun stuff. And last time we did close to, I think, 300 lots with Ava. We're going to try and surpass that this time. We're going to try and go above and beyond. So we're going to start at 3 p.m. Eastern time both days, Wednesday and Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern time each day. And we're just going to keep going until we wear out. And we'll see how far we get each day. Now, if you watch the first day, there's a possibility that you can rewatch if you miss it the first day, is what I'm saying. If you miss it the first day, there's a possibility you can rewatch as quickly as possible, like later that night, maybe early morning the next day. But the second day, on Thursday, most likely the live is going to run late enough that there's not going to be a possibility for rewatching. Because, you know, I'm expecting these, like, this is kind of like a Total Request Live in a kind of way. It's a special event. Our Total Request Lives go 3 to 4 hours. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. If it goes until 7 p.m., we have to do all the spreadsheeting after that and the invoicing after that. And then Ava has to pack up that night. because she has to leave early on Friday. So there is not going to be a chance for us to be digging through things later that night necessarily, or very early in the morning on Friday. It's not doable. So anything that is broadcast on Thursday is pretty much, you must see it live. On Wednesday, though, you might have a chance. We'll see what we can do. Let's say that. If somebody does a rewatch and they sent us emails, we're going to do our best to collect everything and catch any replays or anybody who's sent anything after the live, but I can't even guarantee that because I don't know if we'll have time to kind of look through everything again before we set up for the next live. So the best thing to do, watch live if you possibly can. If you must miss on the first day, catch it real quick the next day, and then make sure you catch Thursdays. Sandra says, I'm in PT at that time. On Wednesday, I'll rewatch. Yeah, Wednesday, there's the possibility. We'll do our best to catch anybody who rewatches on Wednesdays. Thursday, I'm sorry if you can't make it at 3 p.m. And like I said, I'm guessing 3 to 7 is about what it's going to be. Maybe longer, maybe shorter. I don't know for sure. It depends how much energy we all have and how much we can get through. But it's going to be kind of fast and furious, I think. We're going to try and do as much as we can. We're still going to have fun doing it, of course, but we're going to try and cram in as much as we can for you all. Because we know that, Ava has things that she takes to shows, but if you can't get to the shows, it's not always easy to see things. And, we're doing this, we're showing you these through video. You're going to get to see them in the best way possible, other than being there in person. Video is always like the next best thing. So we're going to try and show you as much as we can. And then the other thing I wanted to say is, if you have things that you've been wanting to get from Ava and you've been, thinking about them or wondering if she brought them with her, have that list ready during the live. While this is not a total request live, last time we did open it up to people asking us about particular things that they might want from her collection, and we tried to find them for you. To put them up as a lot. Now, it's still first come, first serve. It's just like always. It's just like you're claiming from our lives. This is an Allegory Gallery live through and through, but we're just partnering with Ava to show her items. Diane asked, will we be sending emails, or is there a different way? Always sending emails. That's the only way we claim here at Allegory Gallery. So it's sending emails to us, just like you always do. We are doing all of the processing for it. We are doing the shipping out of everything for her. That's so that she can continue on her way and not have to worry about any of that while she's on the road. So we are doing all the processing, we are doing all the shipping and all of that good stuff. So it's an Allegory Gallery live through and through. It's just showing her items as a trunk show. Susie changed her plans, so you will be here. Thank you. That's so great. Thank you so much for that. Sandra says, rest up. I know, right? Lena says, make sure to have food and snacks handy. Yes, have your drink. I will have my drink ready. I'll be filling this up before the live. We'll have snacks. And it's going to be a few long evenings with us, but we hope you'll join in, and be sure to share with your friends. Let them know that we are doing this. This is, Ava does not do a lot of these virtual trunk shows. I think most of her road trip stops are all going to be physical trunk shows for the most part. So I think we are the only virtual trunk show along the trip, and we're so happy that she's chosen us to do this. And we want to, make it a big turnout for her, make it worth her stopping and hanging out in Ligonier as a pit stop, along her road trip. And so hopefully it will all work out. Hopefully you'll all like the things, and we'll have a nice collection of items to show. I know we'll have a nice collection of items to show you. That's no doubt. But I hope you'll all enjoy it and you'll all tune in. We have a good number of people saying so far that they are joining us or may join us. Facebook never really shares events that much. But right now, it looks like we have about 55 people who have said that they will either come or are trying to make it. And that's really kind of big for us. That's just on Facebook. And normally our events don't get that much. First, we don't normally have that much time to publicize them because we go live every day, so we just pop up. But we've tried to invite as many people as we can. We've sent out over, I think, 700 invites. So, and you know how Facebook is, it isn't always actually, people don't actually see their invites, sometimes until after the event. But we're hoping to have a good turnout tomorrow. And we hope that we'll be, we'll have the AG Bead fam there to welcome all the new people that may be trying to come in or who have not watched our lives before, and kind of help people out and guide them on how to do everything. Norma says, I'm excited about the buttons, metal, and chain. Me too. Me too, for sure. I'm really excited about that. So we'll see. I can't wait. So that's happening Wednesday and Thursday, tomorrow and Thursday. It's already here almost, tomorrow. Today, like I said, we're going to have some of Andrew's paintings. We're going to have some new gemstones and, well, new to us, mostly vintage. Gemstones, pewter charms. I'm looking at them here. Glass. We have some really cute fruit glass. So we have some oranges today to show you and some strawberries. We have some sugar glass that's uranium glass. So that's going to be really cool. And some good stuff. I've got some rubies, rough ruby strands. Super cool. So hopefully you'll stay tuned for that today. Like I said, we've got some things from Harry Wood, like this. Look how cute that is. Look at that. Look at that sugar skull pendant. Isn't that cute? So we've got some things like that we're going to show you today, and then some of Andrew's artwork. So it's going to be a fun day today. Friday, don't forget, Friday is the Creative Make-Along. So instead of having a live, we're going to be lived out, I think, by that time. So it's kind of good it's happening on Friday, but it's also making it a very jam-packed week of things happening, which is kind of fun. But on Friday is the Creative Make-Along. And if you've never hung out with us for a Creative Make-Along, that's on Zoom. And we will be Zooming at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So 7:30 till 9:30. Generally, we go 2 hours. And we will be doing making along. So you can pick what you want to make. We don't set this up as a class. This is not a class. Some people misunderstand that when they see make along. They think we're all making the same thing, or they should have bought a kit or something like that. That's not what this is. This is purely to hang out. All right. You can finish projects you've been working on. Maybe you have questions on something and you want to ask our friends who hang out with us, like, how would you do this? Or what do you think about this? This is a good time to get gentle feedback from friends. So if you're having an issue with something and you've been working on something and you can't figure it out, or you're wondering what color would go with this, or what kind of patterns would go well with this, or what stone should I use, or should I use glass or vintage plastic with this, whatever your questions are on the project you're working on or projects you're working on, the Creative Make-Along is a great time to come in and hang out and ask those questions of friends, because we all like each other. We're all going to offer some advice, and I think it's going to be really, really fun. So that is happening. That is on Zoom. The link is already out there on our blog. So if you search for Creative Make-Along on our blog at allegorygallery.com, you'll see the link. I will send the link out again, but the link is also generally in the event for the Creative Make-Along, which is on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook and you go into the events tab, there's the Creative Make-Along, and the link is generally posted there already. It's the same link as last month. It's the same link as the month before. It does not change. So you can add that link to your calendar for every month. We have this on the next to last Friday of every month. Next to last Friday of every month. So that does not mean like the third Friday of every month. It doesn't work quite like that. Some months have 5. So it's the next to last all the time. Diane says, yay, Friday. Unfortunately, my boxes aren't scheduled to get here until Saturday. Oh, no. Well, I'm sure you have, I know you have things from things you've already gotten that you can work with. Angela says, cannot wait. My equipment will be ready. Yeah, don't forget, Angela, put it on your calendar now. It's this Friday. It's this Friday. Let's see here. Lena says, I have advice. The heaviest bead will always go to the bottom of a necklace or back of a bracelet if you don't have a counterweight. It's true, right? That does happen. And then you get the dangle down here, right? You need that counterweight. Diane says, with Ava, sell invoice both days or at the end. We generally invoice each day. And the reason we do that is because, as you know, when you are purchasing, it's first come, first serve, and not everyone is going to know if they got everything, right? So we generally invoice at the end of each day. Now I'm going to talk with Ava to make sure this is the way we want to do things, but the way we did it last time is this way too. We invoice each day so that you know what you've spent. Because we never want anybody to be super surprised at the end by realizing they got more than they thought, or they didn't get as much and they could have shopped more the next day, right? Because we're not going to have time, like I said, on the second day. So if you don't get as much as you think you've got on the first day, you might have extra that you want to put toward things on the second day. So we do try to invoice people each day so that they know at the end of each day what they've got. And that makes it easier for us. Plus, some people may not be able to make it each day. And it's easier for us to kind of sort things out. We will be sorting maniacs. Everything's going to be tried to be pulled and kind of pre-sorted at the end of each event. So hopefully that's the plan. And so, because Ava does have to take, like, if we have 5 of something and we sell 2 of them, she has to take the other 3 and pack them up. So everything kind of has to be semi pre-sorted by the end. And so we need to know what has been, so I will be spreadsheeting anyway at the end of each event, and then we will be charging and sending out invoices per event. And I think that just makes sense. For one, like I said, you might know how much, up to what amount you've kind of thought you've spent. So people aren't generally surprised by getting more. They don't have an overcharge or they're charged more than they thought, because if you get everything you requested, you know how much you've spent. But you may not get everything you've requested, because she does only have sometimes a few of each thing. And we definitely get more requests than what she can sometimes supply. So you might have extra money to spare for the next day and you want to spend it then, right? So we do generally send out an invoice each day. Like I said, we'll check on that and we'll give full details when we start tomorrow. But as of now, that's how we did it last time, and I think it worked out well. Norma says, I'm sadly missing out again this month for my Outlander watching group. This is the last time. I hate to miss. Yeah, we miss you, Norma. You always miss the creative make-along. Well, hopefully you'll be able to join us in October, right? Join us in October. Sandra says, oh no, Norma, that's too bad. We'll miss you. I know. Diane says, will you get any sleep? I don't know. Because we're going to be doing this. It's going to be a long live. Each live is going to be long, and then we're going to have to do a lot of sorting and a lot of invoicing, spreadsheeting, and then a lot of invoicing and going through emails and sorting things out. Thankfully, there will be 3 of us to hopefully help with all of this. Normally, I do all the sorting and invoicing and all that myself. But once I make the spreadsheet, hopefully I will be able to have some help with Ava and Andrew working with me to sort everything out as best we can. And hopefully that also means shipping will be pretty quick on this because they will kind of be pre-sorted. That's the goal anyway, and we'll see how that goes. We may just have to pre-sort real quick by, okay, this is whatever lot number we give it 3, and we have 3 of them, 3 different people got it. I don't know if we'll sort it per person that night or not, but it depends how late it starts getting. But it's going to be a wild week. Plus we're going to hang out with Ava. So when you have friends, we kind of go late night sometimes. So it's going to be dinner. Got to make dinner. We're gonna have a lot to do. So we'll see. Probably not a lot of sleep. And then I got to be up early on Friday to get to the store. I have somebody coming in to pick up a package at the store, so I got to be there. I can't be late on Friday. And then coming home Friday right away to do the creative make-along Friday night. So until 9:30 at least Friday night, it's going to be go, 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 go for sure this week. Susan said, if I were local, I would help. Sadly, you were too far away. Yes, sadly, we are. Hi, Susan, by the way. Yeah, so it's going to be a wild week, but it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. You kind of get that energy of like right now, I want to yawn because it's just been we've been kind of prepping for this and kind of pushing and doing a lot of things. We're still doing our, Small Business Boost Fundraiser we're trying to do. So that's part of things that we're trying to get ready for and do this week. That's what my little dishes were for yesterday. That's what Andrew is doing his paintings for. We have other ideas of things we're trying to put together. We want to put together maybe little check glass kits, or I don't know what all we're going to try to do. So I don't know how much we're going to be able to do. We'll see. But I am hoping, we're going to show you some, like I said, some of Harry's things tonight. I'm hoping to get some of his other things into the online store. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how much I get done. I don't know what we're going to be doing tomorrow. We got to get the cottage kind of ready for the visit. But I would like to get some of his things in the online store, so that, especially for the Halloween stuff. We've got a lot of stuff from Halloween for him and from him. And it's getting to that time where people are going to have to order and have it get stuff shipped. We started it early for all of you watching the lives, kind of, but the online stuff needs to get shipped out soon. So I got to get that up. Maybe you all buy it tonight, and then I won't have to worry about any of that. That'd be amazing. Just if y'all take it, and then I don't have to worry about taking pictures and writing descriptions and measuring each piece and writing down the measurements for everything. That'd be amazing. So hint, hint, buy all of Harry's stuff tonight from us. And then I don't have to do all that. Susan says, hi, I just had to lead a meeting and was stressed about it, but it is done and I feel much better. Yes. Being the lead on things is sometimes stressful. I can see that. It's kind of like, at first doing these lives was a little bit stressful. And now we're just so used to it. It's just like, it's hanging out with friends, and we kind of have to lead these every day, but you don't have to, I don't know. It's kind of the same, but kind of different, right? The more you do anything, the more comfortable it becomes, right? But when you don't do something very often, or when it's with new people, or when you are in charge of people, that's another thing, right? You feel that responsibility. So I don't know what you were leading, what kind of meeting it was, but I'm glad you got through it, and congratulations on getting through it, and I'm glad you feel better. Susan says, I was drooling over Harry's bowls last night. I know, and there's still one left. There's still one left. Number 17, which I can't believe. I think it's 17. Pretty sure it was 17. The blue one. What? The blue one? Blue. People love blue. But yeah, that's still available. So if you didn't get one, they're still available. Norma says, I understand, Susan. I have to lead a meeting tomorrow morning. Norma's leading a meeting too? What are you all doing? What are you all involved in? You know, we think we know everything about each other, right? But I didn't know you were leading meetings, y'all. What are y'all doing? What's happening? What'd you have for dinner today? The dinner question usually gets people commenting a little more than some of the other questions we do. So what'd you have for dinner? I'm going to ask you. We have not eaten yet, but I think we're making halushki, or something like that. Andrew had me go out and get onions and cabbage, and we have fake meat crumbles that we're going to add to it. And I don't know if he's going to do noodles with it or not. We might just do cabbage and maybe put rice with it. I don't know. We were talking about doing cabbage noodles, halushki, with some fake meat crumbles and some onions and stuff. So we'll see. Suzanne had fake meat sauce with bread. That's good. I don't know if we told you y'all the other night we made meatball hoagies, or meatball subs, depending on where you come from. Do you use hoagie or do you say sub? Here we say sub generally. So we made, but they weren't really subs. They were on hot dog buns. They were small ones, but we used fake meatballs. I think it was Gardein brand. They're really good. I like them. And we cooked them in marinara sauce, doctored up the sauce a little bit. And then in the air fryer, I fried up I got some brioche hot dog buns, and I fried them up a little, like I air fried them to make them a little bit, crunchy, crispy, not too much, and put some provolone with it. So provolone on the brioche buns with the marinara and the meatballs, and they were pretty good, I have to say. Andrew came up with that idea to have those, and I was pretty happy with that idea. It was pretty good. And then that was Sunday night, I think. And then yesterday, we just had some pizza. I got some Newman's Own margarita pizza. So basil, sauce, cheese. And those pizzas are really good. They don't have a lot of preservatives. They're actually, pretty much just the food, which is really good. And then we also got another pizza, which is a truffle mushroom and garlic, I think. Truffle sauce, mushroom, garlic pizza. And those are the two, like we get those two. Andrew really likes the truffle mushroom one, and I really like the margarita one. So we had those, and they're not too bad health-wise. They're both pretty good as far as not being too full of preservatives and all that. So we had that yesterday, and tonight is the cabbage and noodles, maybe. Norma says church women's group book discussion. So that's the book club meeting. Or is that a different book club? So church women's group book discussion. I think that's a different book club, right? Lena says, I'm trying to lead me out of bed. That's it. I understand. I hope you feel better. Suzanne says, poor boys. Is that what they are? Is that like a po' boy? We did have po' boys on Saturday from Jada's. So we tried to have them on Friday, but they were out of the mushrooms. So we pre-ordered them, and they got us the mushroom special, and had them ready for us on Saturday. So we had po' boys on Saturday, which was really good. Let's see here. Diane had turkey and stuffing and a salad. Turkey and stuffing. That sounds really good, actually. It's funny because you often think about that for like Thanksgiving, and you don't always think about it. Like, you can make that anytime, right? You don't have to just have stuff like that on the holidays. So that's good. I used to like turkey a lot. Marianne had raisin toast for supper. That's solid. I like that. I haven't had raisin toast in a long time. My grandmother used to make a raisin toast for us when we were kids sometimes, and I kind of forgot about that. But it sounds really good. Harry had meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and gravy. Nice. Let's see here. Whoops. Donna says you should try Japanese cabbage pancakes. I've never heard of that. What is that about? Do tell. Susie is here. Hello, Susie. They're called okonomiyaki. Okonomiyaki. I'll have to look that up. Okonomiyaki. I'm going to write it down now. Okonomiyaki. There it is. I'm going to save it in a tab. Okonomiyaki. Oh, and there goes the camera. Let's get flipped. There we go. Cabbage and noodles are delicious. Yes. That's, part of my upbringing, cabbage and noodles. And I love cabbage and noodles. I love cabbage cooked. I like it a lot. And I was so thankful because they used to say that cabbage and those cruciferous things are not good for people with thyroid issues. But I have recently read that they have found that that is not true. The latest scientific findings are that they don't do enough harm or more harm, that they override the value of it and the nutrients, and that it's not actually a big deal. That's what I've read recently. So that I'm going to stick with that one. I'm going to erase the fact that it's bad for you, and I'm going to stick with that we can eat cabbage, because I love cabbage. I love cooked cabbage. I love when it's done in slaw. I do love it. So I'm going to just go with that it's not actually bad for you. This is not a medical channel. Do not take advice medically from us. But I will say I have read that, because for so long I was told that with thyroid issues, the cabbage is bad for you. And so I looked it up, and I found that recently it seems like they've done some more studies, and it's not really that bad. Norma says this isn't book club. It's a more in-depth thing about social issues. That's probably good, right? It's good to get around and talk with people about that. Susan says, mine was a group of patient advocates for the Society for Integrative Oncology. Wow. That sounds impressive. I don't know what all that's about, but good for you. Good for you for doing it. Let's see. Lena says, I had noodles in ginger sauce with faux meat. Nice. Sometimes a ginger sauce is really good. Hey, Kimberly. Thanks for joining us. Norma's eating a cottage cheese and scallion topped baked potato. I almost bought potatoes the other day because I was craving baked potatoes again, but I didn't. Not yet. Sometimes when I don't know what to eat, I default to a baked potato. And when I'm here by myself and Andrew's not here, I eat a lot of baked potatoes because it's just an easy thing for me to make. But when Andrew's here, I don't think he likes baked potatoes quite as much as I do, because I could eat them like probably practically every day. So I try not to eat them too much or make them too often when he's around. Marion says, oh, I need to check into that. I have Hashimoto's hypothyroidism. Me too. I have Hashimoto's as well. And I have read recently that it is not as bad for you as they once wanted you to believe. Sue says, I heard the same thing about cabbage and cruciferous vegetables in general. Yeah, but the last thing I've read, they did studies recently, and they're overriding that. It's not as bad for you as they once thought. And so hopefully there hasn't been anything else since then, and we'll just stick with that. That's what I'm saying. Susan said potatoes are a great default, aren't they? I think so. I think so too. So what else is going on with all of you? How have you all been? What's happening? Anybody doing any shows? Anybody having any events coming up? We're so busy this week. I feel like I have not gotten to catch up with people very much. Did anybody order the new iPhone? My family is doing some upgrading, and I've been taking down notes of what people in my family want as we work on the upgrades. And some of us are up for some upgrades that we're looking into doing. So I think I'm going to upgrade mine. I think Andrew's getting an upgrade. My aunt is getting an upgrade. My mom wants an upgrade. So it's like family upgrade time. And I think we're all going for the new 17 Pro. Some of us are doing the Pro Max. I have not decided on mine yet, whether I want the Pro or the Pro Max. But is anybody else doing any upgrades right now? A lot of people, or a lot of the, I want to say vendors, but that's not the word, service providers, AT&T, Verizon, a lot of them are giving really great trade-in deals right now. And so it's a good time to not get out of the upgrade cycle. Because I used to upgrade my phone every year. I was one of those people that upgraded every year. But, it used to be, I feel like, that the phones got a lot better camera-wise, and we rely on our phones for all of our footage, whether it's these lives, whether it's the website, whether it's our social media. We pretty much just use our phones. We have bigger DSLRs, but to get those out and to transfer the photos and then to edit them, like, it's just so much easier nowadays to use your phone. And back when iPhones, I feel like when the cameras were like, they've gotten to a point now where I feel like there's only so much more you can do, right? You can, you're going to sooner or later cram more technology into the phones, but the cameras don't get so much better with every single phone. And so now I keep my phone I have a 14 right now. So that's 3 years. It's 3 years old. That's a lot for me for a phone. My phone battery does not last me all day anymore. That's one of the bad things about that, is that the battery doesn't last all day. So I'm thinking about getting the bigger phone this time because Andrew has the bigger phone, and his battery, he's even a year older, and his battery seems to last better than mine. They can just put more in a bigger phone. So I'm thinking about that. I don't know. I still, I don't want to get the wrong one and then be stuck with it for like 4 years, 3-4 years. But I kind of like the small one, but I'm also thinking like I might actually do more on my phone if it were bigger. Because I pull out my iPad quite often to do emails and pretty much a lot of things. And Andrew just uses his phone to do everything. He does not do anything he doesn't have an iPad. He has a really old one, but he really doesn't use it. Sometimes he uses a computer, but that is super rare. That's usually if he only has to print something, even though he could print from his phone, but usually that's it. Everything he does, everything he writes, all of his instructions for all of his classes, like his class notes for people, and all of his emails, all of his some of you see his posts, some of his posts are very long. They're all done on his phone. And I can't stand to type on my phone that long because I feel like it's small. I don't know. So I'm trying to decide. Marion says, that's good because one of my favorite salads is mostly cabbage. Yeah. Suzanne says, no upgrades for us this time. Kimberly says, I'm planning to upgrade to the new iPhone. I think I am too. Let's see here. Marion says, no iPhone for me. I know you're an Android person, aren't you? You're an Android person. That's okay. We can still be friends. Let's see. Sandra says, not right now. I don't save that much. Yeah, I can get a brand new iPhone for free, pretty much, by trading in my phone, which is wild because my phone is 3 years old and they're still going to give me a brand new Pro, which is amazing. Kira says, I could not agree more. My DSLR is in the closet. Yeah, ours is sitting downstairs. We did find it. It is down there. You know, we had plans to do a lot of filming and we were going to use the DSLR for filming like tutorials and all that. And it's not that we're not going to, we still probably could and will. But the camera phones are just so good. Like, what's the point of having these super high-end lenses and phones, like for what we do? You know, it's if you're making a documentary, then maybe. But even a lot of documentaries are made on like iPhones nowadays. It's wild. Susie says, I finally just figured out how to use my phone, about 5 years old. Yeah, you know, that's the other thing. I just upgraded my phone today to the new operating system, well, overnight to the new operating system. And of course, like the battery's running dead like crazy today because, and this is something everybody should know. If you don't, I'm going to tell you, when you upgrade your phone to a new operating system, it takes a day or three for it to re-index and redo everything. So your battery after an upgrade will always be worse for the next like 3 days after or so. So a lot of people are like, this new upgrade eats my battery so fast. It's probably not that. It's just that it's re-indexing and reorganizing your whole phone. And everything, all of your emails, all of your documents, and we had carry more and more on our phone every year, right? So it has to re-index everything so that when you use that search function, it can find it for you. And every new upgrade, it re-indexes things. So it also has to move things around and reorganize. So for about, they always say 1 to 3 days after your upgrade, make sure you charge your phone more often, you carry your charger in your car if you do have one of those, a car charger. Just keep an eye on it. Don't like upgrade your phone and then have to go on like a 2-day hike where you might need your phone, right? Because my battery, after I got up today, in about 2 hours, my battery was down to like 24%. And that's just because it was doing a lot of work in the background. It has nothing to do with how efficient the new operating system is. Generally, each one gets better. So it would be weird that your battery wouldn't last at least as long as the old system once everything catches up. But I did that today, and there's new stuff on the new phone, and I've been using the new iPad OS for a while, but I don't upgrade my phone until the real public. I don't beta test on my phone because I've only got one phone. The iPad, if something happens to it and I have to reset it completely, that's not so bad. My phone, that's like a lifeline these days. So there's new things on the phone that I'm still getting used to. And I don't even have the newest phone, which gives me all of the AI stuff. I don't have that. I'm a year or two before I can get all the AI stuff on my phone. So if we do get a new phone, it's going to be like new times. I'm not so excited about all the AI stuff, but it's the future. You got to get used to it. Anne is here. Hello, Anne. Says, can't you get a new battery? I could technically maybe get a new battery. I still have Apple Care on my phone, but they will not replace the battery unless it is deficient enough. There is a point that when they run their tests, that if it does not fail to a certain amount, they will not replace your battery under the warranty. So the last time I had it checked, they would not replace my battery under the warranty. It has to get bad enough for them to do that. So right now, maybe. I could have it checked. And depending on how we upgrade our phones, normally we try and do it in a way that we can give the store one of our old phones. So we're looking into that because the store phone has gotten very old because Andrew and I have not upgraded in quite some time. So the store phone pretty much is not under warranty anymore. There is no Apple Care on it. And it pretty much can't be used for more than about 10 minutes off of its charger. So that's not ideal. But it works, and I can text people back, and I can call people if I absolutely need to from the store. I think we even put it on our voicemail at the store to try texting us because it is harder to use it. But plus, I'm just a texter. Most people are these days. Most people don't want to call. They'd rather text, I think. So we give them that option, which is nice. Let's see here. Sandra says, don't care for the larger phones. You know, I go back and forth. When the larger phones came out, I was all about them. I had the larger phones. I loved it. And then I was like, oh, now it feels too big. Maybe I'll go back to a smaller phone. Then I went to a smaller phone. It's like the grass is greener every other year. I've stuck with a small one for a while now, and I think it might be time to go big because I've started carrying around a bag. Like Andrew always carries his bag around, and I've been carrying a bag around now more often because I carry my iPad sometimes with me and a book and just some other things. And I'm like, I can just throw my phone in the bag. I don't need a giant pocket anymore. And so I might go back to a bigger phone. I have bigger hands though, which helps. I do think if you have smaller hands, bigger phones are stressful. But I've always been okay, been able to reach pretty well with them. Marianne says, there are some things I download that has to be done on a computer. I do have some of those things for the store. I have some things that I must do, or an iPad. My iPad is becoming almost a replacement for a computer these days. I've gotten it down to very few things that I do on a computer. Video editing, which I have not done in a while because we've not done tutorials in a while, but video editing is something I still do on a computer because my iPad is too old for the new video editing software. Otherwise, I would try it on the iPad probably. If I get a new iPad at some point, I might be able to do a lot on that, especially with the new operating system they've just come out with. It's really nice. And hooking it up to an external monitor, if I had a newer one, could maybe do what I need to do. They put the same processors in the iPads as they do their computers now at Apple. So they're very powerful. And usually the iPads actually get the newest processor first, which is wild. Marianne says, Android and Windows. Yeah, I have not used Windows in a long time. Just not my thing. But for some people, they like it. That's okay. Anne says, that is a great deal. Don't tempt me. Yeah, the deals on the phones, check with your carrier. If you have an iPhone, I know we are on AT&T. And if you have an iPhone 13 or newer, 13 or newer, you can generally, they're saying in any condition. It doesn't matter if it works. It doesn't matter if the screen's broken. Doesn't matter if the battery's dead. They're saying in any condition, a 13 or newer, you can upgrade to the new base 17 Pro, which is I think $10.99 for free. They give you credits. You have to. It's a 3-year contract. You got to join them for 3 years. You can always pay it off in advance if you want to pay it off, but they're pretty much giving you almost $1,100 toward a new phone, which is wild. And Andrew's is a 13. Mine is a 14. So we are on the verge of this not being an option for us next year. And that's usually when we make the jump. When it's no longer going to be an option to upgrade for cheap, we make the jump. Kimberly says, my DSLR doesn't even have the video option. Got it in 2008. We have a video option, but it is only 30 minutes. That's the thing with DSLRs. Some of them can only record, it's 30 minutes or 60 minutes. think it's 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, they shut off. Um, they are working around that in some ways now, but some of them still do that. And it's because apparently there are restrictions on taxes and importing for different countries, like in the EU, I believe, that if a camera manufacturer can do video for longer than 30 minutes, it's considered a video camera instead of a camera, and the import or duties or whatever are more. That's what I've read. It's wild. But it has constrained camera manufacturers for a long time on not being able to record. So many DSLRs shut off video recording after 30 minutes. They just stop and end. That is one of the reasons we've not used it so much for tutorials. Now you can get around that sometimes by using camera cards and plugging them into computers to record, and doing a workaround where you're using the camera more like just the lens system rather than a recording system. But yeah, it's kind of messy. And so unless you're very careful to know that you've hit 30 minutes and know you have to like hit the record button again and then put that together in post-processing, it's a thing. Let's see, Mary says, don't really notice that on my Samsung. Notice what? I don't know what. Don't know what I was talking about. Anne says, you are full of good computer information. You should just do a live about computers. I'm always here to answer questions about computers, especially if it's Apple. I use them. I know it. I try and stay up on it. So if people have questions about Apple stuff, I'm usually able to help, or at least give advice. You know, I do try and stay up on it. I don't upgrade as often as I would like to anymore, you know, small business owner and all, but I do try and keep up. I do try to keep up. Vicky says, I do a lot of spreadsheets. I can't imagine doing them on a phone. Yeah, that's like my spreadsheets every night. When I'm here at the house, I use our desktop. And our desktop is getting old, but it's lovely and it works really well. And we're going to send it positive energy. It doesn't upgrade anymore. It hasn't for the last few operating systems, but it still works. It still syncs everything, and I love it. It's good. But when I'm at the cottage and stuff, they have upgraded. I use Numbers, which is Apple's spreadsheeting application, and it's basic, but it has a lot of functions. You know, that it has enough that I don't need complicated formulas for spreadsheets. Not like some people do. But I use my iPad. In a pinch, I can use it on my phone. And I like that it does sync to my phone. The app is on my phone. Like when I am picking orders, I do a thing on this spreadsheet. So when I do your spreadsheets in the evening, I list all the items, the price, how many of them are. I tally, I put everybody's name by everything. I tally it up by person and sort everything by person, and then tally how much each person got. And then there's a column with a checkbox if I've packed the order. And so when I'm packing orders, I can do that part on my phone, but I would never, ever, ever want to do the whole spreadsheet on my phone unless I absolutely had to. So that is something that I pull out my iPad for. And honestly, probably, you know, if they would, you know, I have a cellular iPad. If they would just make iPad that it didn't need to be hooked up to a phone, it can make calls, but it makes calls like through your phone number. And you have to have, I don't know if you have to have a phone line on your provider to hook it up into, but it can't just, it doesn't provide it a phone number. So your provider, I mean, it technically has a phone number, but you can't make phone calls to an iPad. Now, when they call me, it rings through because Apple has it set up that it rings to all of my devices. But if they would make an iPad that could just be a phone and an iPad, I would probably not have a phone. I would probably use my iPad instead of a phone. Maybe. Phone's nice to carry around. It'd be hard to take calls on an iPad. I don't talk on the phone very often. I probably would just use my headphones if I ever had to make a call every once in a while for the amount of calls that I actually make. But I pull out my iPad for a lot of things. And, spreadsheeting, emailing, it just has, because I have a keyboard hooked up to it, and it makes it a lot easier. Anyway, yeah, spreadsheeting on a phone would not be fun. Sandra says, I have an 11 and AT&T says we can save you $359. That is not that great. No, that's the thing, is if it's before a 13, they're not going to give you as much. Although some of them I was surprised what their trade-in values were going to be, because it was kind of wild. And I'm trying to see if they will. Oh, there I went sideways. Apple iPhone 11. I don't know, that's just your base capacity. Yeah. And that's the yeah, it's not a lot, but it's more you're probably going to get than somewhere else. That's the thing. Yeah. It's more than if you don't trade it in. And that's why we don't want to get out of the cycle, because once your phone does get to a certain age, they don't give you these big deals anymore. And so it's like every 3 to 4 years, you're kind of forced to get a new one if you want to. Otherwise, you end up paying for a lot for a new phone. Oh, Marion says battery life. Oh, after an update, your battery life? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Samsung's. I know it used to happen to my mom and aunts when they had Androids. And it's usually not every update. It's just the major updates, like the one time a year major updates. Well, Apple does them one time a year. I don't know if Samsung gives you a major update once a year to get in line with the new Android operating system, because Samsung is built on top of Android and they modify Android. So I don't know how often Samsung actually gives their phones new updates, like big major updates. But the big major one just came out for iPhone. It usually comes out in September. And after the first big one, it's always 1 to 3 days of battery life taking a hit so that it can reorganize the phone. But I don't know what Samsung does, obviously. If I had an Android, I would probably have a Samsung or a Google, from Google itself. If they're still doing the Google One or whatever it used to be called, because I would want. Samsung has a really good reputation, and they have a good ecosystem. They are kind of closer to Apple in how well their products work with one another. And if you stay in the ecosystem, you have better results with your products. But I also would be tempted by Google's phone. Like I said, I haven't even checked if they have a phone, if they're still doing their own. But I used to be tempted when I thought about it, because it's Android. It's just plain Android. And it's as it was meant to be. And I kind of like that. Anyway. So that's all this talk about technology. I know some people are like, this is a bead store. Yeah, we are. But sometimes we get into this stuff, and it's nice to chat about it once in a while. And like I said, if you ever need advice, especially like I said on iPhones or iPads, anything Apple, I am happy to always give advice if I can. You never have to take my advice, but I'm happy to offer advice if you're looking for questions, or because there are a lot of different computers they make. There are a lot of different iPads now that they make. between the iPad Pro and the iPad Air and the regular iPad. And a lot of people often ask me, like, which do I think would be best for them, or what do they need? And I'm always happy to help with that. Marion says Google does still have their own phones. Yeah, see, it would be a tie between probably Samsung and Google proper, which I would take. Samsung is a really good ecosystem, and they have the watches, they have the tablets, they have everything that would work well together. Google's not as, I think they had a watch. I don't know if they still do have a watch. I think they bought Fitbit. I think it was Google who bought Fitbit. So they kind of had that. They had a watch for a while. I don't know if they still have a watch. I haven't been keeping up with them. The tablet they had was more of like a home tablet, I think. It wasn't like a tablet. So I don't know. Samsung would probably be where I would go. Susie says, I love my Android, but it's run a few updates that I really don't like, but it is what it is. Yeah, I have to say, when Apple doesn't update, I'm generally always pleased. Rarely do I have issues with not liking things that they're doing. I'm usually very excited to update, which that's another reason I stay with them. Susan says, we are not just a bead store, we are a community. It's true, right? And sometimes we get into talking about other things, and sometimes it's technology. I would talk about technology every day. When I used to work for Apple, when I was doing sales, Apple had T-shirts that the staff would always have, right? And one of the slogans, the T-shirts always had the Apple logo, kind of on the front, and on the back it usually had a little fun saying. And on the back, the saying on one of the shirts was, "I could talk about this stuff for hours." And the funny thing is, people didn't realize that they come in and they're like, "Oh, could you?" I'm like, I literally do. It's literally my job to talk about this stuff for hours. Like, it's a good thing I can, because I literally do. But I literally still could talk about this stuff for hours. I love technology, especially Apple stuff, because I still keep up on that. I don't have a lot of time to keep up on a lot of the other things. That's why I don't know what all is happening with Samsung and Google right now. But I do sometimes, when I have free time, I take an hour or so and try to read up on what's going on with everybody, because I do like to keep up. Marion says, I've had Fitbits, but lots of issues. Now have a Samsung watch. I've had friends who've had Fitbits, and while some of them have had issues, I will say that I have only heard really good things about. Now, this was before they were bought out, but Fitbit customer service used to be, I know, really good. Like, I had people I know that they literally it was their fault. They put their Fitbits through the wash. They, lost them in the winter, and Fitbit would just replace them. No charge, just send a new one. We don't need the old one back. And this happened a number of times to people that would tell me about it. I don't know if that's the same since the buyout. They've been bought out. I don't know if it's Google. I feel like it's Google that bought them, but I could be wrong about that. And yeah, it's not the same. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it is. But a lot of people used to swear by Fitbit because the customer service was so good. I have an Apple Watch. It's really old. It's older than my phone. And I don't wear it anymore. And I need to start wearing it again because it monitors my heart and my AFib and all that. But I have to turn notifications off because it starts vibrating. I don't even have it make noise, but it vibrates. And if I'm having a really anxious day, those vibrations, knowing that could be anything, who knows what that, is going to be? Is it going to be, and of course my mind always goes to the worst. Like, is it going to be somebody on social media that's starting something? Is it going to be somebody that's upset about something? Is it going to be an email I don't really want to deal with right now? And it was starting to make my anxiety too high. And so I need to shut off notifications and just use my watch as, a safety thing and a health thing more than anything. So I need to plug it in and recharge it and get it going again, because I really should wear it. from my heart. Lena says, I love my Samsung tablet. When I change my phone, I'll go back to Samsung. I'm glad you're having a good time with the Samsung tablet, because I know for a while you were having some pain in the butt moments with some of your tablets. So I'm glad you found something that works for you, Linus. Sandra says, I have a Fitbit. I love it. Oh, good. It was Google who bought them. That's what I thought. And, I thought when Google bought them, I didn't like that idea, because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. But hopefully they're still doing good by Fitbit and the people who have them. Sometimes when they get bought out by big companies, those good little brands disappear. And that was the worry, because Google was working on its own watch and stuff, and people were concerned that Fitbit was going to just they were buying it for like the patents and the technology, and that Fitbit was going to go away. But I think they've continued the Fitbit brand, and I think it's something that's still going. So that's a good thing. Kimberly says, didn't we talk about you needing to get that watch charged? Yes, we did. I still haven't done it yet. Kimberly says, I don't take mine off. Yeah, I need to do it. Hello, Nancy. Thanks for joining us. Lena says, thinking of doing a Raspberry Pi desktop. I don't know about all that. That's stuff I don't really get into too much. So I can't give you much advice. I would have to do some research before I talked about that in any meaningful way, because I don't get into all that stuff very often. Sandra says, yes, I had to attach my Fitbit account to my Google email account. Yeah, I think they do some things, but at least they're still keeping the Fitbit name and the Fitbit hardware and stuff kind of separate for now. I always hate when bigger companies buy little ones that are doing really well, because Fitbit was doing well, I think, and then kind of cannibalize them. I don't like when that happens. Sometimes Apple does that, and I always get concerned. Like, I have this software that I use for editing photos and stuff. It's like a Photoshop, but it's called Affinity Photo, and it was by a company called Serif. And what I didn't realize is that a little while ago, Serif was bought up by, now I can't think of, what's the big online one that everybody uses to edit graphics and stuff now? Wow, I just blanked. Yeah, anyway, they were bought up, and I was like, I love Affinity Photo. You can buy it once. You don't have to pay a subscription fee. It works on desktops. It works on tablets. I can put it on my iPad. I can put it on my desktop. I can have the same stuff there and the same features, and I don't have to pay for it every month, and it works really well. And then they got bought up, and I was like, are they going to ruin it? And so far, I don't think they have. But it's also one of those things that I haven't had to upgrade in a while or do anything with, because it's been there, because I don't have to upgrade everything every time, right? And that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. Let's see. Camera's flipping around again. It's making me a little wild that I can't remember who bought out them. They say registered trademark. It's still of Serif, but they were bought by somebody. Anyway, it'll probably come to me in the middle and be like, that's who it was. But yeah, anyway, technology, right? All right, let's get to the beads. How about it? Let's get to some beads. Let's get to looking at something. Let me I'm just trying to find a lot number I haven't used before, or a sequence of letters. Let's do H. No, that's HGR. How do I feel writing that? That's okay. HGR. We're going to use HGR lots tonight, I think is what we're going to do. And I'm just making sure I haven't used those before. It doesn't look like I have. And let's get back to here. Let's get my email up and running. Canva. Thank you, Sandra. Canva. That's the company. That is the company. Okay. Yes, Canva. And, you know, when other companies like that, like I was not a, you know, we use Canva now for things once in a while. And at first I wasn't a fan because I was like, it's cookie cutter kind of. But I found that it has some interesting things that we can do with it and play around. And it makes some things very easy as far as making little graphics. And I've been liking it. But I didn't want, because it is kind of simple, I didn't want it ruining the photo editor. And because they have a photo editor, they have a desktop like brochure designer, and they have like an Illustrator and like an Illustrator program. And I didn't want them like kind of watering them down, but it seems like they have not. Canva plans to continue offering the Affinity applications as standalone products. Yeah, I saw that, and I'm glad. I hope they continue to do it, and I hope they don't water them down and make them, you know, kind of simpler. You know, I think it's good to have things simple for people. I don't want to say that. I don't want things to get super complicated, but I want it to be powerful. Because if you're going to offer something that you can get a standalone and use it for years, I want it to be something that's, you know, nice. Kimberly says, I only use Canva for my thumbnails. Yeah, I started using it for like our little sale flyers, the little sale things that we do. Mostly I use it for that. And if I were doing more tutorials, I might use it for thumbnails on YouTube. But I found it to be, you know, it's fun. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not, you know, I'm not somebody who is a super good designer. Like Andrew could make things from scratch. I need to be able to piece things together. And, you know, Canva, it's fine for that. But when I do want to do something more intense, I like that there's a standalone product. And I was worried when Canva bought it that they were going to dumb it down a little bit too much, and they haven't, so that's good. Yeah, something else I was going to say, but now I can't remember. Marianne's going back to lurking. All right, Marianne, thank you. Thank you for hanging out. It says they will continue to update Affinity Suites. Yeah, I hope they do. And I hope they update them in ways that keep things going. Like Apple bought Procreate. I believe it was Procreate that Apple bought as an image editor now. And if you use Procreate, that was a big news thing. But it seems like they're trying to keep it as its own thing so far, and not kind of buy it and just kind of turn it into part of the operating system or part of Apple's something. They've left it as a standalone product for a little while now so far. And I think that's good too. Because Procreate is one of those apps that a lot of people use. Okay, let's get started. Whoa, that's not great. Let me flip the camera around. That's too much light on me. Too much light on me. Settings, camera, mirror, back. Here we go. All this technology stuff. I love technology. Like I said, if you have questions about technology and you want my opinions, feel free to email me. You can email me at the same place you email me for everything else. Happy to help. But this, if you'd like to purchase from this video, take down each lot number, send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. These are going to be HGR lots. So HGR 1 through probably 40 tonight. We'll see. We'll see where we go. How are y'all doing? Hanging out? Okay, hanging out? Oh, I just got to stretch a little bit. I've been sitting in the same position for too long today. Getting a little bit of a head rush today. That happens sometimes. Okay. What should we start with? Let's start with some of this fun stuff I've got up here. And I've got to get out my calculator for this because I'm going to calculate what we're going to do on these as we go. Some of these I worked through before. Some of them I have not yet. All right. So these are vintage check glass press beads. They're coin shaped in this opaline pink. And this is a whole hank. So I have, there's 12 strands here. So you can see this would be one strand. And these are these beautiful coin opaline pink. Isn't that pretty? Vintage check. And let me get you a size on these too. These are approximately 5 millimeters. Super pretty. And I'm going to do these for, let's do a good deal. $3.50 a strand only. $3.50. This would be a strand right there. Vintage check glass coin beads. They do have a design on them. I'm trying to get them close enough so you can see. They look like a star almost. You can kind of see that. Each strand, $3.50. That would be the size of a strand, which, let's see here. They are about, well, let's do it this way since they are lengthwise. They're about 5-inch strands. 5-inch strands. HGR1, $3.50. We've never had these before. This is brand new to us. We just got these in. They arrived in the mail literally today. And we're showing them to you now. HGR1. We've sold one of those so far. Thank you so much. We've sold 3 of them so far. Thank you so much. Up next, let's see. These ones I kind of factored out. And I think I can do 15 beads. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 beads. We've got 10 lots of these available for $5.50 each. And these are tiny little oranges. They're vintage check glass oranges. Let me make sure. Yes, check. Check glass oranges. They are little drops. So the holes are drilled across the top. They are drops. But look how cute they are. These little pressed glass oranges. You get 15 of them in a lot for $5.50. And they are approximately about 9 millimeters. Marianne left just in time, says Norma. I know she doesn't like the pink, right? Kimberly says, I'm driving, can't grab one. Oh no. This is pretty pink though. So far, there's still some available, so you can get it when you get back, or get to wherever you're going. Look at that, how that lined up so nice. These are little oranges. They have little dimples like a little orange. They're super dang cute. They are pressed glass, check glass vintage beads. And there are 10 lots available at $5.50 each only. Oranges. I know some of y'all like that fruit stuff. I know Norma, we showed Norma's fruit necklace yesterday, right? If you missed it, let me see, do I still have the photo? I do, right here. As Norma did the pears with the vintage plastic beads and the vintage check glass. And that was super, super dang cute. Okay, HGR3. And let's see. This is so bright and cute, right? And then these are also $5.50. I've got 10 lots available. These are mixed strawberries. So these are strawberries in all different colors. Mixed strawberries. And these are vintage check pressed glass. So you got some of the whites, you got some of the opalite kind of colors, you got some of these pinks. You will get an assortment. These are just some of the colors that are available. This is a showing of kind of all of the colors available. And you will get a lovely assortment of mixed strawberries. And you get 15 of those for $5.50. HGR3. Lovely little strawberries. And these strawberries are approximately 9.5 millimeters by 11. Kimberly says yummy, right? They are yummy. Don't eat the beads, y'all. But make fun things with the beads. Just don't eat the beads. All right. So oranges, strawberries. Let's move on to these. HGR4. Normally we would make these, well, I'm going to say they would be about $40, but I'm going to do them at let's do an introductory price for you all, $28. I only have 6 strands of these. Oh, I don't know. I probably should have talked with Andrew on these first. Well, let's go ahead. HGR4, $28. These are rough ruby strands. Rough ruby strands. I've only got 6 of them available. These really should be more than this. These probably should be like $60 or $70. Doing them for $28 a strand for you all. When we get a good deal, we try and pass that good deal on to you. You know, we always do that. This is a special introductory price for these. rough rubies. They are approximately about, well, let's see here, about 12, 11 and a half, 12 millimeters by about 9 millimeters on this strand. And 6 strands available, HGR4. Rough rubies. What a deal, I think. I think that's a really good deal for those. Where's my... we've sold 2 of the 6 strands so far. 2 people have gotten in on that deal. We've got 4 strands still available, HGR4. Let's see, let me do some math here. And let me do Now, these are, we're doing a special price, $2.50 each. This is beautiful aquamarine. Now, these are not drilled. So these are nice little, call them cabs, of aquamarine. You could set these, you could wire wrap them. They're beautiful little aquamarines, but they are not drilled. So you would have to do something with them to use them. They're $2.50 each. They're really nice quality aquamarine, and there are 25 of them available. Really pretty stones, just not drilled. Sometimes I look at them and I'm like, are they drilled? No, they are not drilled. Aren't they pretty? So HGR5. I don't know. You know, I know it's harder to figure out how to use something like that when they're not drilled, but for those of you who like to make rings, or for those of you who may soft solder things, they could be a really fun thing to play around with. If you do metalwork, if you do wire wrapping, wire wrap some of those in silver, that'd be really nice. Or gold. Gold would be beautiful. So yeah, HGR5. We just sold another strand of the rubies, HGR4. We have 3 of them still available. I'm surprised we still have 3 of them available, to be 100% honest with you. I thought at that price they would go like wildfire. This is another one of the strands just to show you. Like, I didn't pick just the nicest one to show you. They're just really beautiful strands of ruby. Rough. There's another strand. Rough rubies. Kimberly says, those rubies are fabulous. Yes, I may be hoarding a strand. Yeah, they are nice. Brand new. All these things we've never had before, so we're showing them to you. They literally came in the mail today. So for those of you who are looking for new things from us, these are the new old things because they're all vintage strands. I'm going to put HGR1 away just to move that out of the screen. I'm also going to put HGR2 away to make some room. Those are the oranges. We still have some lots of those available. $5.50 for a lot of 15 of those. And there are 10 lots available. Just right on there so I know. Susie says, I love anything ruby. I know, me too. I'm a ruby fan. My mom, that was always her favorite stone. Growing up, she would always talk about our favorite stone is rubies. And for me, you know, I just grew up with her saying that, and so I always loved rubies too. And I actually do, because I think they're so pretty. Like, look at that. Look how pretty those are. So pretty. All right. And let's see here. What do we got next? Let me do the math on these. These are nice. I haven't even seen these outside of their packaging yet. I have, let's see, this is HGR6. We're going to do this for $3 a pair. And I've got multiple pairs of these right now. Kimberly says, Ruby is my birthstone. I love them. Wear one every day. Nice. HGR6. We have this pair of vintage pewter pendants. Oops. And these are these little crown pendants. Whoa! Where'd it go? I just lost one moment. Just lost one of those off the marine. Let's see if I can find it real quick. If not, I will find it later. Okay, I'm gonna have to look later. It bounced somewhere. Okay. So HGR6 are these pair of crown pewter pendants, 20 millimeters by about 20 and a half, and $3 a pair only. HGR7. And we have a pair of these, kind of like a star and shield. It's a vintage pewter pendant. We're going to do those at $3 for the pair as well. I have multiple lots of those available. So those are kind of cute, right? And then HGR8, $3 a pair. Multiple pairs available of this next one as well. And these are these lotus flowers with this star behind it. These are really cool. And you get the pair of these for $3, HGR8. Let me give you measurements on 7. 7 is about 14 millimeters by 24, and 8 is about 24 and a half by 29. right, let me put, now where did I put them? Strawberries, where are you? Oh, I think they're still in the box. Yeah. I'm going to put the strawberries away. We still have lots of those available. Super cute. I can't believe we didn't sell more of those. Strawberry vintage check, HGR3. And I'm going to put the rubies away, HGR4. Put them away before Andrew sees the cheap price I put those at and get in trouble. I don't know if he's watching or not, but I think those are pretty cheap. And where's the bag I had for those? That's this baggie for the aquamarine. We'll put those away. Beautiful aquamarine marquee cut cabs. Oh, I just dropped another one. Throwing money away over here. Oh, I found that one. That one I found right away. Okay. Those over here. Let's move these up. GR6. We've sold a few of each of these. Thank you so much. 6, 7, and 8. I think those are super cool. Pretty cool. And then these. What did I have on these? All right. These are a little bit more expensive, but they're super cool. Let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a lot of 10 of these. This is HGR9. HGR9. And these are going to be $5 per lot. And I think I have 5 lots available of these only. These are sugar glass, vintage German sugar glass beads. Suzanne says those pewter earring pairs are nice. I thought so, right? Super great for earrings. Super easy to make earrings out of. These are vintage pewter. These are vintage pewter charms. Probably not going to see those around anywhere. They're super cool. And, oh, Gina's here. Hello, Gina. Thanks for joining us. And these ones glow. These are uranium glass. And they're these sugar glass beads in the green and purple. And so these are uranium glass. They glow really well. All right. And you get 10 of them. What was I doing? Oops. Whoa. This. I'm looking for this to see the size. These are approximately 8 millimeters. 8 millimeter sugar glass uranium vintage German beads. Green and purple, and then they glow bright green. HGR9, $5 for 10 beads, 5 sets available. That's it. Those are a little bit, I like those. Those are pretty cool. You don't see the sugar glass, I don't think, very often. It's got that bumpy texture on it, which is really cool. Love those. And they glow so bright. Like, that's really bright. That's not maybe they kind of glow. That's like they glow. So for those of you looking for the uranium glass or things to make if you're going to a Halloween party where you're going to have the black lights, those are really cool. I love them, if you can't tell. All right, did I get everything in this box? I did. Okay, HGR10. All right, let's take a look at some of Harry's stuff. I'm going to give you introductory pricing on some of these. So really good pricing. Even better than we would do, better than we're going to put them in the store or on the online store for. This is a Skull and Bones pendant by Harry. These are artisan ceramic pendants by Harry Wood. I don't know if Harry's still here with us or not tonight, but he makes these pendants, and he just sent us this box. We just got the box today, and we just opened it up. So we're going to give you special pricing on these. This is HGR 10, $12 on this. And that's about 28 millimeters, 28 and a half or so by 45 and a half. Great for spooky time, dress up. These are actually, like, you could use these, like, if you even have a more formal event where, you're not really dressing up for Halloween, but you want to add a little bit of something. You could totally put some pearls with this and make this into something that, at first people aren't going to notice what it is, but it's still a little spooky. I love that kind of thing. All right. I'm going to put HGR6 away. And I'm going to put HGR7 away. Make some room on the table. Let's put HGR8 away too. Those are the Lotus ones. I love those. Look how intricate they are. Nice pewter design. As a memento mori, says Marianne. Absolutely. We just sold another one of the ones. Thank you so much. Let's move these down. Can't believe we've not sold any of the 9s. Not any of these. That's amazing to me. Usually the Vaseline glass goes so quick. HGR11. Let's see here. I think there are 2 of these ones. These are similar. Well, I'm going to make them different. Oh, we just sold 2 of the 9, so we have only 3 of those left. Thank you so much. I'm going to make these the same price. I was going to do them as the same lot, but they are slightly different, so I'm going to leave them different. HGR12. So this is 11. These are these sugar skulls. I showed these at the beginning of the show real quick. So this is 11 and this is 12. They have different flowers at the top and around the sides and slightly different skulls. So I'm going to make them two separate ones. This one is approximately 22.7 by 41.5, and this one is 23 by 41.5. So about the same size. And then HGR 13. I have one of these that is a little bit more colorful. I'm going to make it the same price for you all, though. It'll be a little bit more in the online store if it goes there. It's this one. It's HGR 13. All right, I'm going to put HGR 9 away. Sold a few of those. Thank you so much. It's the vintage German sugar glass, Vaseline glass, uranium glass beads at about 8 millimeters. 8 or 9? 8 or 9 millimeters. What did I say? 8 millimeters. HGR 14. Artisan Ceramic by Harry Wood. This kind of coiled snake design on the blue kind of turquoise colored pendant. And this one's a little bit bigger. This is 28.2 by 47.3. HGR 14, $12 for that pendant. I'm going to move these up a little bit here. Oh, I just realized, I don't know how I keep taking away that. Our little header up there. And HGR 15. Let's see what I've got next in here. We just sold 14. Thank you so much. That one is sold. Let me set that aside. This one is really cool too. I'm going to do this one. This one's a little bit more intricate. HGR 15. I'm going to do this at $14. Is this skull with the roses? Isn't that cool? I love that texture back too. Just like pushing in the clay there. Skull with the roses. And this is 31 millimeters by 46 millimeters. HGR 15, $14. Artisan Ceramic by Harry Wood. HGR 16 is this multi-skull pendant It's got a few skulls in there. Again, this is definitely one that, unless you get up close, it doesn't have to be like in your face skulls, but they're there, right? And I really like the color on this. It's got a beautiful kind of turquoisey blue with the black, the gray black. So if you're pairing it with like onyx or sardonyx or some turquoise, or even like that's like the neon apatite would look really pretty with that. There's so many different colors you could use with that pendant to really kind of bring it out. And that's $14, HGR 16. Let's see, what else do I have in here? We've just sold 16. Thank you so much. HGR 17. Let's see here. HGR 17 is this large sugar skull. Has a nice blue glaze over kind of rust colored clay. Really pretty. .28 millimeters by about 39.5. HGR 17, $12. Okay, let's see. There's so much fun stuff, and I know I can't do all of them. I'm trying to pick the ones that I think you all like. I don't know. I never know for sure which ones you all are liking the most. Let's do this one. This is HGR 18. Had it at 20. We'll bring it down to 16 for you all for introductory pricing. This is a larger pendant with lots of skull and bones. And this one is about 43 by about 43. Trying to do the ones that are the best for Halloween for you all out there. Let's see here. So I'm trying to very carefully dig through all these pieces. There's some fun stuff in here, but it's not all Halloween. So I don't want to do, trying to stay on task here a little bit. This one's just cool. I have to do this one though. Okay, it's not really Halloween, but HGR 19 is the Pharaoh head. I think that's cool. Where are you going to see that anywhere else, right? Harry comes up with some amazing things, and I always love the whimsy in his work. And just the diversity, like it's different. Things you're not going to see anywhere else. Like, where else are you going to see that as a pendant, right? And this is about 25, and we'll say 25 and a half, 25.7 by 38.7. HGR 19. And let's see what's next. Let's do this one. HGR 20. This large skull. Artisan Ceramic by Harry Wood. And this one is 43 by about 56 and a half. Now I'm going to take some of these away, although I don't have many bags, so let me see what I can do here. Let's put 10 away. And let's put the 2 away over here that I put to the side because they've sold. And then get a bag. And then I'm going to check somewhere. I know. One moment, y'all. I'll be right back. I think I can make some more bags. So this, make. Okay, let's put these away. Where's that? That's 11. Let's put this one away. How are y'all doing out there? Things have gotten quiet in the comments. It always makes me feel like I'm alone. Makes me feel like I'm all alone in the comments, so nobody says anything. All alone. Okay. And let's find one more bag for this one. Suzanne says, I just love Harry's work. Me too. I'm honestly surprised more of it's not going. But that happens. I know. I also know people know we're having a trunk show starting tomorrow. So that happens. Suzanne says, glad you commented about pairing them with pearls. Oh, yes. Some of these would look really great with pearls. There's lots of things. I mean, you can work with so many different stones on some of these. And especially like vintage plastics and check glass. Like we just sold, I think, some check glass melons the other day that probably would go really well with these if you grab those. Or it might have been this, more of this blue with those check glass melons we had. There's so much you can pair with all of these. It's so much fun to play with. HGR21. I'm gonna do. I have a big one. In here. And let's see here. This is hard to price sometimes. I'm going to say 28 on this. 28 on this. This is a little. Let me raise the. Let's raise the roof. These are these pumpkins. And the only reason I'm bringing the price down that much is because on the back, there was obviously some pieces that stuck in the kiln. If you put glaze together in the kiln, sometimes pieces stick together. So you can tell that these were pulled apart and deglazed. But that's the back of the piece. So, you know, it really doesn't affect if you're putting it out on as a display. They're these super cute jack-o'-lanterns all piled up together. And I think it's super adorable. It is hollow, so it's super light. And it would be a great decoration. And like I said, if you're putting something over it or putting it facing out, you're never going to notice that. But I do, you know, I feel like I can't sell it for the full price that I normally would because of that. But it is super cool. I think it's so adorable. As soon as I pulled it out of the box, I kind of wanted to keep it, but I don't decorate for Halloween much. And I know some of you all do. I'm going to do this one in inches. This is about 5.5 inches by about 5 inches. And it's just such a cool piece. So whimsical, so fun. Got that spooky flavor. Love the colors in this. Those are my kind of colors with the browns and the greens and the neutral. So that's HGR 21, $28 for that. I'm going to set it over here. Suzanne says, I've learned to appreciate all varieties of jewelry items. Good. I'm glad. HGR. You know what? Me too. In working with different items and you know, coming across different things to sell different items, you know, you gotta, whoa, you gotta kind of put your prejudices aside for certain things. Like at first, a lot of people aren't into plastic, right? The vintage plastic. But then once you start using it and start seeing how fun and useful it is, it's super cool. And there's no reason not to love it. I think, anyway. All right. I'm going to do this little figurine. Let's make him... do this at 22. This is a little ghosty. $22, HGR 22. Little ghosty figurine carrying his little pumpkin around. Just super dang cute. Isn't that cute? I think it's super cute. So that's HGR22. And then if you want to get a little bit weirder, because we all know that Harry likes to do the weird and wonderful, we have HGR23, which is the ghosty, but this time it's got the baby face. Just so weird and wonderful. Instead of the ghost face, he has put the little baby face on there. And it's just like, where are you going to see this stuff? You're just not going to see it anywhere else. This comes from Harry's imagination, and where he pulls things and mixes and matches the ceramics and the molds and combines things together. Just super fun. So for those of you who want a more traditional ghost, we've got 22. And for those of you who want a little different, something that's uniquely Harry, we've got 23. And on these, they are approximately 3 inches by just about 3 inches. Gina says, good night. Good night, Gina. HGR24 is the cat. Andrew said, do folks want a sneak peek of the new paintings? I thought we were doing the paintings. I told everybody we were doing the paintings tonight. What's happening? HGR24. I prepared the lots. We were thinking we were going to do paintings tonight. Are we not doing that tonight? HGR24, $18. Cat figurine. Isn't that cool glazing? I don't know what that glaze combo is, but there are so many colors in there. I will not be sad if this cat does not sell, because I will gladly keep that. Andrew says, okay, do people want half the new series? Do half tonight? Cats are popular this Halloween, says Suzanne. Cats should be popular every Halloween. HGR24, $18 only. That's a cute cat. It stands. Is it a tortie, says Andrew? I think it is. I think it's a tortie, right? Looks like a tortie, a long-haired tortie, bushy-tail tortie. It's ready to get you. It's gonna shake its little bottom and attack. Is that what they do? Attack. HGR24. Cute, says Kimberly. Suzanne says, sure. I think that was for the new series of paintings. Bring them up, Andrew. Let's see them. Okay. Let's see here. Oh. Now, let's do a few strands of some things. First, I think I gotta make room. This is the hard part. When it's all just myself here doing this. And when I don't have bags, that's the hardest part. And I don't know why I don't just bring bags home. If I could remember to do that, I would save myself a lot of anguish. 19. Nobody got the Pharaoh head. No one wants the weird stuff tonight. Or what I think is the more weird stuff anyway. I always find it interesting what people like compared to what I think is gonna like fly out of off the shelves, as they say, compared to what actually does. I don't even have a bag big enough for that one, so that's just going to move over here and sit right there. And then we'll move these up. All right. HGR25. Oh, where did I put that? These were 22. Let's give you a good price. Since we're doing the fundraiser today, the Small Business Boost Fundraiser, trying to give you all good pricing on this stuff. These are these beautiful shell coins, vintage shell coins. Let me bring this camera down a little bit so we can see under the light. Beautiful shell coins. Lots of beautiful color and flash on those. They kind of look a little bit like moonstone. They're about 12 and a half millimeters. And these are vintage strands. And this should be, I think they're 16-inch strands. Yeah, 16-inch strands. I've got 2 of them available, $16 only. $16 each. Shell coins, HGR 25. And I'm going to be 100% honest. I think this is a jasper. I don't know exactly what kind. I'm going to do it super cheap. 12 bucks. $12 for y'all. It's a really pretty strand. Beautiful color and patterns. Really pretty patterns in these stones. Look at those. Debbie's here. Says, love the ghost. Hello, Debbie. Thanks for joining us. Check those out. Beautiful. I love this one right here. It's got that clear slice right through it. And this one with the white. And these are about 15 by 20 millimeter ovals, HGR 26, $12. Super inexpensive, some kind of jasper, don't know what kind. So it's cheap. I mean, that's how we do it sometimes. HGR 27. Oh, these. I have these at 22. I'll bring them down a little bit. Let's bring them down to 18. And these are Sibukao, S-I-B-U-K-A-W, Sibukao seeds. Whoa! The jasper is pretty, says Susie, isn't it? It's really pretty. I'm running out of room for everything here. Check these out. Natural seeds. Beautiful, that kind of mahogany color. So pretty. They're a natural seed that's been cut out, drilled. They have a nice large hole in them. So these are generally about 22 millimeters. And the hole, if I can get in here, maybe. The hole size is about 3.5 millimeters on those. Super pretty. There are 5, 10, 15, about 19 of them on the strand. And they're $18 for the strand. Let me move this up again. $18 for the strand. Okay, let me put the ghosties away. I can find bags big enough for them. So the seeds are cool, but I don't need a whole strand. You never know. Maybe you'll make something and people will want it and want it and want it. And then they're going to keep making more of it. That's what we all hope for, right? Sell lots of stuff. And another big bag. Here we go. HGR 23. Put that ghosty away with the baby face. It's got the baby face. And another big bag. Do I have one? Yes. Put the cat away. Cat didn't go. Can't believe it. That's okay. I'm going to keep that one. Keep that little torty cat for myself. Okay, HGR 28. Whoa, where are you coming from? Okay, and this at 22. I'll do it at 18 for you all. Andrew says, are you ready? I'm ready whenever you are. I thought I was going to leave some spots, so I'm ready when you are. This is a chalcedony, dyed chalcedony. They call this kites. Dyed chalcedony, faceted kite shapes. And some of it's dyed, some of this is natural chalcedony here, dyed on the edges. And these are graduated, so the smallest one's about 10.8. The largest one here is about 13.5 wide. Are you all ready to see Andrew's paintings? What do y'all think? This is HGR 28, $18 only. That doesn't look like $18. Boy, My marker is dying. $18, HGR 28. All right. Sounds like Andrew's going to be coming, so I'm going to put these away. Lena says, yes, I'm ready. And put this one away. Let's make some room. Let's be ready for Andrew. Make some room here. Those are super cool. Love, love, love those. Only $18 for that whole strand. Okay, I'm going to leave these here for something for y'all to look at while Andrew makes his way up. And he's made his way up. Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Okay.
He's working hard, y'all. Gesundheit.
Thanks.
Okay. HGR 29. What are these little babies going to be at?
I think this many.
I think that's
or,
I think the first one. What do you think? I don't know. You keep going.
You pick, I don't care. Maybe special price for the live people.
Okay. So, how about if we do...
Boy, that marker is terrible.
I know. You think that's good, though?
Sure.
Special price?
They'll probably be 52 when they're normal.
Okay. HGR 29. So
What
52.
about this marker? Does this marker work?
I don't know. 2. That one works a little bit for now. They all work a little bit for now. I keep turning them upside down so they drip, into themselves a little bit.
Did they want to see the new ones, or do you want to see the old ones first? By old, I mean last night.
Are you selling them all?
Sure.
Okay, let's just start with the ones we did yesterday so people might already know. He just left. He just left, y'all. Okay. Oh my. Let me make a few. HGR 30. I thought he was going to hang out and talk about these a little bit. It's probably going to get more. Let me make a few pieces of paper here. Get these few lot numbers going. If you've been waiting for Andrew's artwork, we are arriving at that point in the show. These they are going to be $52 when they go into the online store. We're doing them for $38 tonight as a special discount for you all. This price is only available, let's say, for 24 hours. Give people a little chance to rewatch. But this is better than a 20% sale. On these. It's actually better than a 25% off sale. So you're getting a really good deal on these paintings tonight. We don't usually go past about a 25% sale in our online store, and you're getting even $1 more off than a 25% off sale. I'm going to make more papers here while we're waiting for Andrew. Because He brought up more than I thought he was going to have ready tonight. I didn't know you were going to have this many ready tonight.
This is half of them.
This is half of them.
But probably my favorite half.
Your favorite half? I told him this is better than a 25% off sale.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's because y'all watch pretty much every night.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was thinking about naming them. So, I don't know. We'll see.
They might come with names. Okay. How about this one first?
The candy corn.
Candy corn. HGR 29.
If anything's named Cornelius, it should be that one.
Cornelius. Whoa. Can you move those so that I can move this and look at these? So that's HGR 29. These are paintings by Andrew.
I'm going to seal them tomorrow during the day before Ava comes.
And special price again was $52, bringing them down to $38 for you all only tonight. It's a special 24-hour sale. Next one should we do? HGR 30. Now the numbers on the viewage are going up.
There's my pumpkin friend.
Pumpkin friend. Oh, oh, oh. He's belting out a tune, it looks like. HGR 31. This is the mushroom friend.
That one looks like it's giggling.
Yeah, it does.
It's like it heard a good joke and it's...
Yes, it does. It's tickled with itself.
There's something up here that's making my nose itch.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Let's see here. This is another one we showed yesterday. HGR 32. Is this one? Some of y'all like the little autumn tree man.
I don't know if it's a man.
Don't know if it's a man. It's true. Genderless autumn tree.
I don't know. I didn't look.
You didn't look. HGR 32. All right. Oh. HGR 33. Hello, Ida Bell. Hello, baby.
Just telling everybody about buying these.
Yeah, she says support the fundraiser. Yeah, now, huh? Support the fundraiser. Oh, I'm just. Oh, so much purring. Sweet girl.
It's Ida Bell.
Susie says, I hear a kitty. Lena says, the cuteness. Cuteness of kitties or cuteness of paintings? Both cute. HGR 33. Whoop. Is this?
That's a new one.
That's a new one. Very dapper in their coat.
It's like a riding coat where they have it in panels so that they don't get water in their sleeve.
Nice.
Drover's coat, I think they call it.
It's HGR 33.
I could be making that up.
That sounds right. I think I've heard of that before. I'm running out of room on the desk. I don't know if I can get another layer here or not.
And these are on draft board.
Draft board.
So they're a little bit different. If you're used to the ACEOs I make, these are a little bit thicker.
Yeah, so if you want to see, they're like that. And I guess I should. What size are they?
2.5 by 3.5 or something.
Yeah, 2.5 by 3.5.
And I'll sign and date everything.
Once they're getting ready to be sealed.
Yeah,
we just sold 33.
I want to get my special pen.
33 is sold.
It's at the cottage. Little happy pumpkin frame.
Yeah.
Kind of a peacock color coat.
And HGR 34. Ghosty. Boo. Boo. That's really cool. I like this one a lot.
And you know, white is kind of tricky because I
was going to say, look at all these colors in the white.
There's a lot of colors that go into making the white.
Yeah. Oh, you just don't want to be away. No, you want to hang out with your daddies, huh? Yeah, you're so sweet. Did your brothers and sisters send you up here to tell me it's food time? No? You just want to hang out?
A little magic hat.
A little magic hat. Look at that. I love this. Look at these colors in here.
Idabel had a little magic hat.
Look at those colors. Cute. You need a magic hat, Idabel.
Okay.
Sweet kitty, says Suzanne. She is sweet. We went outside today for about a half an hour. We were all outside hanging out. Norma says, love the magic hat. That's HGR 35.
Idabel said that she's the resident Halloween cat, so...
Yeah, she should be in here for this, right? $36 coming up. Let's see, what one should we pick? How about this one? Love this outfit.
Little witch.
Little witch. Her little outfit. Love the frills. HGR 36. $38.
And then what? What's next?
I don't know. I gotta write the paper. HGR 37. How about that one? Look at that. Zombie?
That's a mummy.
Mummy, that's what I mean. Mummy. I was like trying to think of the name. Mummy? Waiting for you to say it, but you're too into Idabel down there.
Well, that's my job.
Isn't that cool? That's 37.
That one was surprisingly tricky because I had to get the bandages. That's again, I mix all these colors to make certain.
Yeah, look at the different colors that go into. Like you can see some of them.
That's not just like brown.
No.
I mean that's fine too if you could get that look, but usually I have to do it a couple times.
It's layer upon layer upon layer of color.
And they're real thin layers. Kind of washy layers.
Suzanne says, now I'm thinking of the song Zombie, right?
Oh, wait. I made it a zombie.
Da-da!
I was gonna try to make it cute, and then I was like, what if you don't like cute? Maybe you want a little bit cute, but a little bit scary.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of brain showing, a little bit of hair. And it's got a little bit of blood around the mouth. It's pretty cool. Zombie. All right, now I gotta make more room. I'm trying to think how I can put these on a tray here. Let's do that. Let's try this. So I can keep their numbers with them.
Well, really, it only matters for tonight, right?
That's true. But I mean, I can always go back in the video, I guess.
She sees something.
The witch looks, oh, my screen keeps moving. Scared or shocked by something, says Norma.
Probably the zombie.
Probably the zombie or the mummy. 33 is sold. This one is sold. Thank you so much.
Only one so far.
Only one so far. Of course, you got a bunch of people who are going to wait to see them, probably.
Oh, then I'm not gonna paint anymore.
What?
Oh.
Okay, let me move these few up here. Move those out. Oh, what's going on down there?
She sees the bugs more. Oh, she wants to get it so bad, but
Oh, I see it. Okay, HGR 39. I'm going to stop writing 52. You all know it's 52 originally. We've got the skeleton in the top hat with the bow tie. Beautiful colors in these. Lots and lots of work in these. All created by Andrew. Been working on these for quite a while.
I finished like 3 books. I finished, so that's one is just 12 hours, one was 8 hours, one was 5 hours, and I'm halfway through another one.
Wow.
So how many hours is that? 12,
And 8 is 20.
and then
I think you said
5,
8. 25.
and then another 2.5 hours.
27, 28 hours.
So that's how much I've been painting.
28 hours, so at least 3 work days if you're doing 8-hour shifts, right? Over 3 work days.
Yeah, but it's not. Rarely does it go in one line because I have to wait for stuff to dry.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was telling him. You had them in various stages of process throughout. As I kept coming down, there were more that were, some were more done than others. Some were.
And he was like, "Is this done?" And I said, "Does it look done?" Like, maybe.
I said, I don't know when they look done.
I said, "It's not."
This is HGR 40. Suzanne says, Andrew, you have such creativity.
Thanks. I try hard.
Mm-hmm. Next up, HGR 41. We have more people joining us. So if you're just joining in, we're going over some of Andrew's latest artwork. These are originally $52. We're offering them at a limited time price of $38. That's over 25% off, since we are trying to do our Small Business Boost Fundraiser. And we often give the best prices on our lives. So if you don't watch our lives all the time, watch them often. We do one pretty much every weekday. From 7:30 at night, sometimes at 3 p.m. Yeah, you sold 41. That's this one right here.
Oh, little skull?
The little, yeah, this one. So this one has sold.
Thanks. It's this sold too.
Yeah.
So far.
So far. HGR 42. This one is dang cute.
Which one is it?
This one.
The little autumn harvest.
Autumn harvest. So cute. I love it. Annabelle, I love you. You gonna claw my leg? Look at the colors. Look at that autumn harvest. Look at those little berries in there. I just love that facial expression too. So cute.
My little pumpkin friend.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about growing Paolo's pumpkin patch this year, but I've been traveling too much.
Yeah.
And the deer eat everything to the
Yes,
ground.
they do. For those of you who like owls, dapper owl with the top hat. Love the owl. Look at the eyes.
You didn't catch anything, Idabelle.
Staring into your soul. HGR 43 on this one.
I let her go so she could catch that bug.
No, she's clawing me instead.
She's just living her best life.
Diane says, Autumn Harvest and Tree Man make a cute couple. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no.
Why not?
This one and this one. Super cute. Yeah. That's 32 and 42. 32 and 42. Oh, we just sold 32.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you so much. Oh, hi, baby. Yeah. So 32 has sold. Thank you, thank you. HGR 44. Oh, hello. Oh, hello, baby. Hello. Whoa, whoa. This one. A vampire.
Could be.
Could be.
Might be La Llorona. Or
La Llorona.
it could be a banshee.
A banshee. It's got options.
White lady.
Lots of options. This is HGR 44.
I was gonna name it Bianca.
Bianca.
It means white.
White.
My friend is named Bianca, and she is not white.
She is not white.
All my friends named Bianca are not white.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
I am definitely white. Very white. And the last one for tonight just worked out. 45. HGR 45 is this one.
Another pumpkin friend.
Pumpkin Friend. HGR 45. So if you've been waiting to see them all before making your decision, this is the last one for tonight.
And if people don't buy them tonight, I might change them.
Oh.
So That's the risk.
That's the risk. That's the test. Isn't that a song?
Maybe
That's
I'll
the
like
risk and
it.
that's the
Maybe I'll
test.
paint out the background.
Who knows? Suzanne says, my friend's dog is Bianca. She's a brindle.
I don't know what that means.
I'm trying to think if we have seen any dogs that are brindles. It's kind of like a brown, I think, like a brown and gray, a spotted kind of color. Suzanne says, Andrew, these are spectacular. We also just sold 42. So we sold the couple
Okay.
Diane talked about. We've sold both of those.
Keep talking, Diane.
I know, right? So we've sold those. We've sold 33, 41, 32, and 42. So 32, 33, 41, 42. 32, 33, 41, 42. It's similar to a tortie kitty, says Kimberly.
And a dog?
And a dog. Yeah. What are you doing? That's
Sometimes
the
I
brindle.
get overcome and then I just want to squeeze.
Just squeeze and squeeze.
I don't really want to cook now. I'm kind of tired.
I was wondering about that. What are we going to do? Oh, the screen just flipped.
Make some eggs or something.
I knew you weren't down there cooking for sure.
I was painting as fast as I could.
I know. That's why I knew. Rain says the little cat Harry did his sort of brindle or merle. Yes. All right. My mom says my Charlie was a brindle. Yeah, he was. Charlie. All right, y'all. That's it for tonight. 45 lots. I think we had some beautiful things. We had some vintage stuff, vintage glass, vintage pewter, vintage ruby strands. We had some things from Artisan Ceramic by Harry Wood. We had some gemstone strands, and we had some paintings by Andrew. So lots of stuff tonight, all at really great prices. So if there's anything you want to grab, these prices are good for 24 hours. Let's see. Lena says, I'm afraid I want to see the other half first. Andrew's making the okay face.
We'll see if I can finish it because we have a busy day tomorrow.
Yeah, we're busy day tomorrow, busy day Thursday, busy day Friday.
What's Friday?
The Creative Make-Along, and I'm at the store.
Oh, I probably have to go somewhere. See my friend in Cleveland while he was there for a residency.
Oh, my mom says I tuned in late, but just in time for Andrew's paintings. And Lena says, I have the FOMO. Well,
I'll try to paint fast.
I know. And the ones that don't sell will be going with us to, we're going to be at the Ligonier Witches Bike Brigade.
Oh, we got in?
I believe so. They said they should have room. That's on the field at the Watershed Field, I believe.
When is that?
I think the 19th? October.
What month?
October, I think. I have to look. I have to check dates for sure. Because we've been waiting to see if we got in, and then they said they never got our email. So I had to resend everything. But they said we should have room for you. And then we have the... bring up the calendar. The WPA, I always forget the name. WPA Cryptid and Supernatural Expo. That's the Masonic Temple in Johnstown. That's on September 27th and 28th. So not this weekend, but the next. So next weekend.
Am I going to get a break?
And then we have, that's your class. Creature feature class. Andrew's teaching in Pittsburgh on the 25th at Contemporary Craft. And then somewhere in there, October... I think it's 31st is the other event we're going to at Bottleworks from I think 9:30 until midnight. So we've got lots of places these little paintings are going to go if they don't sell here And remember, these prices are only good for 24 hours, $38, instead of $52. That's over 25% off. So thank you all for hanging out with us. And stay tuned. Remember, tomorrow, 3 p.m., Ava's going to be here. We've got lots going on with Ava over the next 2 days, so we hope you'll join us. Remember, when you tune into one of our trunk shows and when you purchase from one of our trunk shows, you are not only helping us, but you are helping another small business as well. This time it's Ava Motherwell and her Ava Motherwell collection. So we can't wait to see you then. All right, everyone, have a great night. Bye, everybody.
See ya.